Hi, everybody. It's Sunday morning, December 24th, 2023. Good early morning from Las Vegas. Welcome to Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. This is your first look at betting patterns for Sunday and really where you want to steer clear of early public opinion. Today, I've identified 3 NFL games for Sunday where early betting patterns are going in the wrong direction. And after the show, please go to Pickdawgz.com where you'll find my top 3 NFL selections for one low price of $54.99. And of course, that comes with our Pickdawgz win guarantee that states you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. Get my 3-pack, or better yet, get involved with my All Access Pass. That gives you every single one of my plays for the next 30 days, next 90 days, the next year, every play in the NFL, college football, college basketball, the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball. When it comes up, get every single one of my plays for one low price. Works out to be about less than about $100 a month or $10 a day. So it's more than worth it. Get the credit card out and just slap it up there. And thank you to everybody that has done that. The response has been tremendous and it's overwhelming. And I thank you that you will put your money and your trust behind me. If you need more reasons to become an all-access customer on Sunday, well, we had another profitable day for our all-access customers on Saturday, including our college football 3-pack that came through. Again, more profit for the people that got involved in that package. And we're on the cusp, obviously, of another massive day in the NFL. And I've been absolutely on fire in the NFL with 60% winners over the last month. That's good for number 1 amongst cappers with at least 20 plays in that span. So for better or worse, I always put my numbers up on Pickdawgz.com. It's updated almost hourly, so everything is up to date. And there's, if you're not going well, it's going to show up too. And if you are going well, it's going to be right up there and right in the NFL, as I am in college football. I mean, absolutely scorching hot. To become an all-access member, go to Pickdawgz.com and choose one of my packages. And also, you can get these games individually as well, or get a week or month or however you want it. It's up there. Believe me, there's something for everybody. Just make sure that you get involved. So let's get to our Sunday free plays, and we're going to start off with game 467 and 468. Detroit Lions -3, 47.5 on the road against the Minnesota Vikings, 1 o'clock Eastern time start. And we've seen this number have modest movement after opening up at 2.5, so it's at 3 right now, moved up a half. The Lions are confusing to most people that I talk about. They covered 7 of their first, there was a span where they covered 7 of 8 games, but from after week 11, which was the last of that span of games, they've rotated wins over the last 5. They've failed to cover 3 of their last 5. They've had bad losses to Green Bay and Chicago. And as far as Minnesota is concerned, they've dropped 3 or 4, but all 3 of those losses were decided by a total of 6 points. More impressive, Minnesota has not had back-to-back losses against the number all season. Minnesota is 4-2 this year when the number is -3 or less, or we're dealing with a 3. Whether they're getting or giving 3, they're 4-2 against the number. So we're going to go ahead and take Minnesota plus the field goal. Game number 2, 425. We're kind of bouncing around. 425 Eastern time, 473, 474. Arizona Cardinals versus the Chicago Bears. Bears -4 and 43. And I'm a little surprised that the public hasn't pushed this number up higher. Usually I would have thought, hey, you scored 29 points against the 49ers last week and a game that featured 74 points. I thought that total would go sky high. But, of course, on the other side, they're playing a Chicago Bears team that has allowed 13 points or less in their last 3 home games. They have the number 1 run defense in the National Football League. The number 1 rule in wagering or, to be successful in this business is to absolutely forget what you just saw. Don't take the performance against the Niners and say, well, that's who the Cardinals are at this point. Because if we did that, we would have said, my goodness, this Cardinal team must be great after they beat the Dallas Cowboys early in the year. We just know that they got up for those specific games. They beat Dallas and then fell short against San Francisco. This is still one of the sloppiest teams in the league. They cannot put up points quickly enough for me to against a number one defense. And Kyler Murray's great, and I'm glad that he's back for Arizona, but he's still a guy that, to me, that can't stretch that field. And if he can't stretch the field, that means that numbers will not be put up quickly. And to try to stretch the field against one of the better, if not the best defense in the NFL, we're at top 5 for sure, especially over the last 3 to 4 weeks. I just don't see them putting up a ton of numbers. So we're going to go under 43 in this one. And then game number 3, we'll go back again. Game 461, 462. This is 1 o'clock Eastern time start. Cleveland Browns minus 2.5 and 40 versus the Houston Texans. This number has dropped to 40 after opening up at 41.5. We know that Case Keenum is starting in place of C.J. Stroud, who's still in concussion protocol. There was some, it was back and forth whether or not the Stroud was going to start this week, but he has been ruled out. Officially, and Keenan is listed as the starting quarterback. I think if you listen, I mean, I hope this number isn't dropping because Keenan's the quarterback, because you're going to give this guy who's a veteran, what is he, a 12, 13-year veteran in this league, and you're going to give him a week to prepare. And I thought he was pretty good last week. I mean, he threw for over 200 yards, had a pick, had a touchdown. I thought he was pretty good. I think he's going to be even better this week. And they got the win last week in 19-16, but still got the win. There's nothing that the Browns are going to put in front of him that he hasn't seen from a defensive standpoint, even though the Browns do have statistically the number one defense in 2023. They're very sloppy to me, though, on defense at times. They average 7 penalties a game. I think this game is going to feature a lot of points, and I don't think it's going to go down to 39.5. I think 40 is where it's going to stick, but I'm more than happy to give up that number. I really just thought we were going to get a worse number than that, and so you're going to give me 40. I'm more than happy to take that very generous number. So that does it for our 3 games today. Go to pickdawgz.com right now. Go and get involved with my NFL 3-pack for $54.99. Jump on that 3-pack or get my annual pass, my 3-month pass, my 90-day pass, every single one of those selections for one low price. And my numbers up on Pickdawgz, especially in football, certainly stand on their own. So please get involved. So before we go, I wanted to geek out a little bit, and I'm such a numbers guy, and I don't know where I conjure these things up. It's amazing that I have anything else going on in my life when I start thinking of these things. But today I wanted to investigate how underdogs do when the difference between the spread and the total is 40 or more. So for instance, if the spread is 3 and the total is 40, the difference would be 37. So why do this? Well, it's a study to see what happens when we eliminate low totals with high point spreads. And it's actually very interesting. I came up with an incredible trend that actually was that you can apply, and it's been really good. I can't believe I haven't done this before, but these numbers mostly pertain to medium to high totals with smaller point spreads, and the psychology of it can be talked about, I suppose, for hours, but it's very significant, these results. So when the difference is 40 or more this season, favorites are 80 and 55, which is good for 59.3% winners, and 22 and 14, 61% winners when it's 45 or more. And I suppose the reasoning behind this is that underdogs are not able to keep up with favorites in games that are supposed to be high scoring. I guess that's what it comes down to. And so which teams, we wanted to go through and see, well, which teams this year are best in this scenario. So number 3 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Actually, all of these have the same record. It's just a matter of the units won. The Philadelphia Eagles 7-1 ATS plus 5.29 units. Dallas is also 7-1 plus 5.38 units, and Miami 7-1 ATS plus 6.31 units, and they're number 1 in that scenario. Who are the worst teams? Well, Seattle is 1-3 minus 2.11 units based on a 1-unit wager. New Orleans is 2-4-1 minus 2.18 units, and Atlanta's the worst team in this scenario, just 1-4 against the spread, minus 3.09 units. So there are 4 games this this weekend that fall under the 40-plus category. And again, that's a difference between the point spread and the total. And those favorites in these games would be Atlanta -3, Detroit -3, Jacksonville -1.5, and Miami -2. So you see where you're getting low point spreads with high totals, and basically you're asking the underdog to keep up with the favorite. And in all these scenarios, 59.3% of the time, the underdog is not able to keep up. So I hope you were able to keep up with that. But I kind of understand it in my mind. But it is very interesting, and I try to understand the psychology behind it. And the only thing I can come up with is these underdogs over a 60-minute game just cannot keep up. So those are the games that this particular scenario falls under this week. I don't know. I got too much time on my hands. So let's get to our recap of our free plays for Sunday. Minnesota +3, Cleveland, Houston over 40, and Arizona and Chicago under 43. I don't know. Maybe you could take these and apply it to your handicapping, or just kind of make a note of it. It's very interesting. Try to give you more than just what the favorites and the underdogs are doing. So, all right, that does it for today's show. Thank you so much for joining me. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. I wish you nothing but the best and have a fantastic Christmas Eve. We'll see you again on Christmas Day.